James and Brandon from Engloria called in to talk to Rock Circus TV, and here's what they had to say.
Hey guys, thanks for calling in. Got the members of Engloria here, James and Brandon, guitarist and drummer. How you guys doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Good, good. Love the new album, great job, Evolver. It sounds like you really put a lot of effort into it. How did this album come about as opposed to maybe some of the other album, your other full-length Shine and your EP?
Well, basically, like any other band, you know, things evolve as you start. You go through some members, you lose some members, some friends play, some friends take off, and we wanted to make a new record that we knew we'd be able to play live with just the three of us, bass, drums, and guitar. Stripping down some of the previous lineups we had, we were using a lot of organ, a lot of keyboards, a lot of dual guitar stuff. And you know, we just wanted to make do with what we had and simplify. I think that was the key, really, to simplify.
Okay.
And just bass, drums, guitar, three guys.
Are you down to a three-piece now, or you guys have a fourth member?
No, we're down to a three-piece.
Down to a three-piece, and that's what you look forward to playing live, and that's what you're doing, hitting the road hard. Now, this album seems a little more edgier than the previous one. Was that intentional, or were you trying to get more of an angst in there, or?
I think it was definitely intentional. It was intentional once we saw that it would be intentional. We started writing as a three-piece, and things just took a form, I think, more of an angstier record. You know, we didn't, I say that it was intentional, but we didn't sit down and try to make an angstier record. Once we saw that that's where our art was taking us, we kind of embraced it rather than fought it, and just made a record based on how we were feeling about a lot of things going on in our lives, you know, the music industry, where rock is at in the mainstream.
Yeah, it really does reflect the way all of us were feeling at that time. And I didn't think we wasn't supposed to come out that way, but it ended up kind of taking that form, so it really reflected everything.
Now, do you think that came out because of the current, you mentioned about the current state of rock? I kind of feel it's kind of waning. I mean, last year, if you look at the Billboard for most of the year, the acts were just shit. I mean, period. You know, I mean, unless you're a pop junkie, it's garbage. You know what I mean? You got drum machine, drum loops. Sounds like it was pasted and edited on some freaking program. And you know, they get the big studio sound on the vocals and everything, but it still just sounds cheesy as hell to me, and I just don't know how the kids these days feel that. Like I felt when I saw someone pick a guitar up and rock my freaking face off with it, and that blew me away. You know, I don't know where the disconnect is these days with the younger generation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, we live with that feeling every day. You know,
and that was a big part of this record.
Yeah, you know what's going on out there is you got a lot of things going on. The digital downloading and all that stuff. The whole digital age has really made real rock and roll hard to find and hard to exist. You know, I mean, true rock and roll bands are hard to come by these days, and it's definitely fallen out of the mainstream. You know, we're here to try to revive that for everybody. We want to rock people's faces off. We want to rock your face off, man.
Yes, indeed. Well, man, hopefully you guys will come to Pittsburgh and we'll get to check you out. Now, yous are on an independent label. You self-released this? Because I didn't get a product, so I just have it on a download. Is this, you self-released it, self-produced it?
Yeah, we're self-releasing this one. We've self-released everything we've done so far. The last album was self-released. You know, we've made some relationships and kind of working the circuit on getting stuff out ourselves. And this new record, you know, we're just promoting ourselves, putting it out ourselves, pressing it ourselves, just doing everything we can.
Total DIY band, man. Like a lot of the bands are these days. Now, have you guys been approached by any labels? Have you had to turn any labels away, like saying, "Hey, we're trying to shy away from that"? Or
no, we never turned anybody away. We have done some showcases and stuff. We've done some live stuff down in the city, down in New York. We showcased for Columbia a couple years ago. And you know, we've showcased
that opened some doors for us.
Yeah, you know, it's tough, man, because like you said, you basically, to get on a major these days, you have to already have, you gotta already have what you're looking for. A lot of bands think that if you can just hook a major, you basically won all these fans and won the lottery, but they're looking for the bands that have already done the work, and they're looking for the bands that already have been out and established a huge following.
Oh, exactly. They want to know how many units you moved on your own, and once they do sign you, it's like a loan from a bank. You got to pay them back. I mean, it's to the point now where they cut into your merchandise sales. I mean, that's how it is these days.
Yeah, and the merchandise and stuff. I mean, that's how bands eat and sleep on the road.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's the model pretty much makes it impossible for the artist to survive out there, which is why it's so difficult, and that's why there's few less rock and roll bands driving across the country playing for people. It's just it's become so astronomically difficult to do with the way the industry model is currently set up. I don't think it's any one person's fault or anybody at that higher up level. I just think that the state of the music industry is just in a really weird place right now.
Well, in the United States it is, because I've been interviewing bands for 25 years now, and they tell me that a lot of times when they tour the world, they just see how different people are towards music over in Europe and in Russia, like different, just the whole western side of the eastern hemisphere. I'm sorry. Everybody loves good live hard music, and you can put a festival up and have 6-7 acts, main names, and a bunch of new bands. You get 150,000 people to show up to this venue. That's how it is over there. And a lot of times we have a hard time getting a simple 300, 400 venue crowd, to pack a place, to show interest towards it. And
it's definitely tough. Being outside your hometown, it can be exciting to play to people if you have a crowd. If you're playing with another band that has a hometown following, but it can certainly be, it can be quite an experience.
Yeah. So you guys grew up together. Who was the first one to bring home the guitar and the drum? I remember like Alex Van Halen. He was actually the one that brought home the guitar, and Eddie Van Halen tried playing the drums first. Now, was that like that with you guys, or did you just know right away guitar, Brandon knew right away drums? Was that?
I can't remember. I was so young.
Yeah. We started doing stuff when we were real little. So I've been playing piano and playing guitar for a long time.
And that was that with your parents?
He was the one that bring home all the instruments, and I just picked them up out of curiosity, basically. I guess I don't know myself. He taught himself too.
Yeah, I've been playing piano and guitar for a while. Dabbled in drums for a little bit, and he's been playing drums for most of his life. Even when he was real little, we would be down the bass.
On my own.
So you just grew up in a music house. Your family, your parents were very supportive. They encouraged you, and it led to this, I would imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. Our dad is a musician too.
Oh, is he? He played professionally at, or? Local bands and.
Down through the years in bands, like music bands and stuff.
Cool. So, you guys have a tour scheduled, a stage tour? Or are you going to try to tour the world, or what's the plans for 2014?
Yeah, we're tour the world. We're leaving tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna tour the world. No, man, we just got out of the studio doing this record, and we just made a video, so we're gonna coast on that for a little while.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you had a video. You doing a video for Animal, or?
No, a new single called "Gonna Be Late." We just released it a couple days ago, so check that out.
Yeah, we'll definitely post a link to it. We'll post a link to it.
Yeah, it's up on YouTube now. But we just did the video. Gonna try to ride some online attention for that. See how we can get some views up on that, and hopefully this spring, start touring New England at least. Start out there and.
Just hit it hard as you can pick up the gigs. Now you have a management company, or?
Oh, totally independent.
Totally independent. You guys, yeah. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Sometimes I would just feel that. Sometimes you could feel so overwhelmed trying to do it all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
the music carries you through, though.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that we need to get done, though, we are able to do by ourselves. Because he's a graphic designer, so. As far as, graphics for covers or, live show posters or something, we have it up on that. And I'm going to school for video, so music videos are something that I like doing on my own time, so started to do that a shot for the band.
He did the video, We're Gonna Be Late.
Yeah. Oh, great, the whole thing.
Yep. Totally independent. We're totally hands-on. You know, like you said, it can be frustrating at some points. But at the end of the day, you look at all the stuff you've done, and you're like, wow, I wanted this stuff so bad, and I just created it all, and now here it is. And you don't even realize how much time has gone by. Like, we searched forever to try to find somebody to do a video for us, and really try to. We've looked for management companies in the past. You know, we've worked with some booking agents here and there, all around the United States, exclusively for a little bit. But everything pretty much boils down to us doing everything ourselves, hands-on, because at the end of the day, we just be responsible for ourselves, and we don't have people taking cuts of, cuts of things.
Little pieces of what you've worked so hard to put out and do well yourself off of first, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys, do you have like an outside ear that you turn to, or someone that's knowledgeable? You know, because I can imagine like sometimes it can be overwhelming. You're like, well, maybe I could use a little advice in this area. I mean, do you have someone you can turn to, or do you guys just research it online or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we have some people in the industry out on like the West Coast and stuff that are able to help us out as far as online presence and getting some people to listen. Spreading the word. We've developed some contacts basically just to get the word out about the band. Some of the media outlets we've been featured on help out a lot. It's all just networking. It's like it ends up at the end of the day being who you know. Like they say, it's who you go. So yeah, I mean, we formed the band in 2000, the later part of 2009, and we've just been going at it through campaign, putting out EPs, and now this is our second full-length record, Evolver, and
I love the artwork for it, by the way. Who designed that?
I did.
Did you do that on purpose to try and create some controversy, get a little bit of the spark going, or was it something totally meaningful to you, or was it both?
We've learned that you have to be somewhat gripping to try to get a little bit of attention to get people to click. Now in the digital age, everything's online, and you gotta have people want to click on that on the internet to like open it up and maybe give it a listen. We're just trying to use some new tactics to try to get people to listen to music, because at the end of the day, you just gotta get people listening. Day by day, fan by fan, you just gotta pick them up.
Yeah, you guys are on Reverb Nation. I've seen, and you got stuff up there. You're doing everything that a band should do. A lot of times, the local bands will ask me for advice, and I try to tell them, and they don't ever listen. They just want to do it their way. They ask you for your advice, and they do the complete opposite. And you're like, well, I've only been doing this for 25 years, and I've seen things come and go, and how it is. And I just think it's funny how some bands can get it, and other bands just have no common sense, musical common sense, or industry playing common sense. But that's good you guys have it. I see you have a poster of John Lennon behind you. Is he a major influence on you as far as inspiring you to play music, or were the Beatles a big part of you, or some other 60s, 70s bands?
Yeah, we were raised listening to the Beatles. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if you want to learn how to write a song, man, John and Paul are the way to go, man. They wrote a song a day until they figured they could do it right and write a hit a day. I mean, them guys were just phenomenal when it came to creative juices and all that.
Absolutely, yeah. That kind of thing, the whole rock and roll thing, the whole roots rock thing. Rock and roll, I guess, is in our blood. We don't really have a choice. I'm kind of raised that way, raised in a
rock and roll home. That's cool. What's your favorite track off the new album? Do you have each one? You have a favorite track, or?
My favorite track is a track called "Fuck You."
Yeah, I saw that one. Was that to an old girlfriend or an old friend, or you can't really speak on that right now?
Yeah, I can't talk about that. It could mean whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, usually the listener takes, what they hear and adapt it to a personal situation in their life. And I think that has a strong resonance from that song to do that with a lot of people. So that could be a good one to maybe, promote in the future or whatever.
I don't know if I have a favorite track.
No?
One of my favorite tracks is probably, you know what? The Ceiling's probably my favorite track. The song called The Ceiling, it's like an up-tempo one. I don't know, what track is that? Is it like 3? I think it's like track 3, yeah. Starts, that's probably my favorite song on the record. Yeah,
was that one you recorded late at night or something, or you had a weird inspiration on?
That actually was one of the first songs we did. That was one of the first ones. Yeah, that was one of the first songs I wrote for the album. I don't know why. I think why is that my favorite track? I think I like the guitar work in that song. I think the guitars are sick. Like there's a bunch of harmonic stuff in that song. Like it's gonna be cool to do live. I want to like extend the middle too, like the harmonics.
Jam on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like that song. I also like some of the more down tempo ones. Like White Noise is one of my favorites.
That's one I personally liked a lot. Was White Noise. Good job on that, man. That was the whole album's great. The White Noise was one that I could take to heart. It was one of those ones that just took to my heart right away.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, one more thing I would ask you about real quick before I let you go. You have a Red Bull sponsorship or something? I was reading.
Yeah, like
well, that's a good thing to do. I mean, get out there with a hip a hip drink that a lot of young people drink. I think that's a good marketing move.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, they emailed us and got asked, just about like a sponsorship type deal. They were sending us Red Bulls for a while. We're drinking a lot of Red Bull while recording.
Yeah, keeps you up late.
That's why the CD is so heavy and
Yeah, lots of Red Bull. You grew wings.
This album and the last album, we got the Red Bull sponsorship made the music heavy.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck, and thanks for calling in to Rock Circus TV, and we'll try to get you some help and turn on some other people to your sign, man.
Totally, man. Picking up fans day by day, man. That's how you gotta do it. One fan at a time.
One fan at a time. That's how Nirvana did. I saw them. They played here in Pittsburgh. I think there was 3 people at the show the first time they played here. And they crashed on the promoter's floor. I mean, that's just how they put it in their chops. Now you guys are putting in your chops. Hopefully, it flourishes just as well for you guys.
Hopefully, man. Thank you very much.
All right, Jane, Brandon. Thank you very much. You have a great day.